the young people in most likely China and India that are plugged into computing that are related to the Buddha and the Krishna and to Confucius and Sun Yat-sen die. They take them, they identify them, they plug them in, and then the children don't last long, they die. They don't live to be like the Keanu Reeves little propaganda movie thing. People, well, they meditate to do this for a long time, and they do it. If you understand the story of the Siddhartha, you know, he realized that destroying your life through long meditation to try to, maintain nirvana during intense abuse, that also happened in the Bible during fasting things. To how do you stop starvation and how do you get people to share and care and give encouragement to build the last. How do you do this? How do you connect to the suffering to help the faithful be empathetic and respectful to, the one lady, what about mercy? And Jesus says, if you want my mercy, honey, baby, you're going to be capable of mercy yourself, right? And, so you're dealing with these type of people. They had that one, I don't know what his name was, that KINOD, somebody, they had this big thing about it. And he's sitting there, he's talking with this guy, and this guy says, we've been investors in certain things and stuff like that in front of the crowd. And you're brilliant, and it's an honor to be here. He goes, and we've been investors in many things together, and da-da-da. He goes, well, I don't consider myself an investor. And the guy, well, why? I don't like investors, right? So this guy's interviewing him for a show and things like that, and he sits there right in front of the whole audience and basically just says, I don't like you. And the other guy just doesn't even miss a beat. He just keeps talking to him. He doesn't sit there and say, well, I just publicly complimented you and you publicly insulted me. You rotten fucking bastard. Don't use any of your money to do anything with this guy. I mean, he can't even show the most simple public respect to anybody, But before doing that, he gets up and goes, all of you here that want abundance, And then you're like looking at it going, God, that's the type of fucking people we're dealing with. Oh, that's hideous. Yeah, it's pretty horrid. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Yeah. You're talking about people, these are the type of people that Judah Krishnamurti his brother died from the results of abject poverty when he was very young. And Judah, they were going to have Judah die from it too. And these are also the type of people that, people tried to follow Sun Yat-sen to a better life in the 1900s, in the early 1900s. And, Sun Yat-sen was a physician, and it was almost like a resurgence of Confucius. And things were going really well for China. And then, as far as resisting oppression and abuse from outside influences and groups that were going to make them, they were slow. They needed to join the Industrial Revolution or be dominated by outside forces. So the Japanese caved to pressure. And they were trying to modernize and get away from feudal systems that were very, very abusive. So in that movie, The Last Samurai, people that lived in those older archaic conditions were very oppressive and abusive, especially to women and children. Okay. And in that movie, it makes it look like, this is their last bastion of hope. of a traditional lifestyle that's better than the Western lifestyle. Right? That's the way Tom Cruise and the producers make it look. And those type of people are excessive and compulsive. Okay. They're nothing like D.T. Suzuki. You know, D.C. Suzuki is a Buddhist monk. Okay. And from a family that comes from Buddhist monks. Okay. During that, the movie, if it was about the man who brings peace and tranquility and beauty to Japan, okay, the father of their true religious devotion to peace and kindness and caring and real strength, it'd be a radically different movie. Okay. It would be people that are very, strong, beautiful, protecting, that avoid violent macho posturing at all possible. And the macho postures are scared of them because they can protect people. Okay. And when it's embarrassing, when a Buddhist priest can take on you and 50 and your ninjas, doesn't want to. It says, just go your own way. And, you can pay with them everywhere, but not here. Nobody needs to pay anything here. This is where we all share our caregiving courses need built to last, right? So when you're looking at, throughout history, and these rare pockets, you don't have movies of these. They're not on the Trinity Network. The Trinity Network and all those networks and stuff, when you see Daniel and you see Joseph and, there are these British accent actors or Jim Caviezel, crying in Aramaic stuff. And, during the crucifixion, Jesus wasn't a drama queen and didn't put on a show. You can tell by the language written down at the crucifixion. There wasn't a lot of talking. And people were mocking him, but it was kind of like, and they knew it, and everybody in the crowd knew it. The mockers, they're always that way. They have this, they can't help themselves. They're like old Mr. I don't like investors. Right? They're just those type of people. And yeah, people still perform the horrible things and still do the horrible things. Yeah. Don't ask me to figure that out. I don't know. I don't know why people can be in the obvious apocalypse, have the understanding of the septic coming explained to them scientifically. And, nobody from the right or the left accepts it. I can't tell you why, I think it's a finite selfishness trying to cling to the physical body with all their might, thinking if they just wish hard enough, the cyanide shower will disappear and they'll wake up in Pan's Labyrinth with the little girl's dad and mom. I think that's, the biological conditioning. I think that's the little child wanting salvation, because look at me, I'm the Messiah. And look at Patrick, you couldn't protect me from this and that, and all this stuff. You couldn't protect me. All I can do is just walk you through hell and have you understand eternity and refuse to participate in hell. That's all I can do for you. Okay. I mean, the people that are like Judah Krishnamurti get taken out as babies, chucked into computers and die because their body shuts down. Okay. Don't even get a fast puberty, right? Same with the people like Confucius and Sun Yat-sen in China. Okay. The bravest, most beautiful, amazing standards of human fathers in the history of the world. Okay. And corporations will get together to make artificial intelligence to solve all our problems and have us be greater than the life given to us to a physical body by this horrible curse that they call God, right? If God was so great, why would we be able to take the ones that give us faith in God and torture them so and murder them so and render them, incapable of, even trying to get up and go to the bathroom by the time we're done with them, right? In a bed shitting on themselves, and and then sitting there and they still don't wonder, why don't they just give in to our greatness? It's like, hey, wow, that's a tough question there, isn't it? I'm just kidding around, but yeah, the last night the internet thing wouldn't respond, so I had to go undo it. When the YouTube came back up, it popped up and it had Fox News, thing with Elon Musk, final warning, we're coming for you, yada yada, all right. Which I already told Dad last night, we're overdue. We probably might get pesticide here for the next 2 days. So I kind of figured that out. Worst thing was the people came by and they had flags waving on the things doing it, saying, long live Pope Leo, God bless Joe Biden, and I swear the other one was wearing had an Indiana Pacers flag waving from it. I'm just kidding. Ken Makashima, I know, was driving that one. I'm just kidding around. You're funny. I know. But you sit there and joke around. This is killing your father. My father is 89 years old. He's older, not as old as my grandmother, but my father is a really tough cowboy. Has lived a wrong, brutal life with the people that are his political business partners, slowly killing him with chemical poisoning and him praying to Jesus to win the lottery, so. But it's hard. And you told that Mickey guy he didn't have any balls. And he probably got him poisoned off at the soup kitchen, so he, just basically giving him a local commentary. Here's what's happening. Don't worry, they're going to do it to me. But the thing about it is, I'm talking about, literal, figurative and literal. We'll be back, man. I love you guys, okay?